Really, the best thing that you can do is to spread some propaganda on why Mystic Water Stormy's not okay.
I couldn't agree
bad
more.
because the one time I played it in Smogon World Cup, I lost with it.
That's fair. No, but it's good because I beat Mint Yerb on ladder in less than 15 turns and it got 4 kills.
Yeah, but that's Mint Yerb. Mint Yerb's either going to beat you in 15 turns or you're going to beat him in 15 turns. That's how it works.
True.
Jumpy, welcome to the chat. And welcome, chat, to the stream. We are live. We're doing Mushi League 21, the 21st season. I can't talk today. Of Mushi League. We're going to do a PR. We're going to do a rankings. And I'm joined by Buzzed, Jumpy 23, and Tetrafolium. How you boys doing today?
What's
Doing
up?
good.
My
I'm
team
doing
is
well.
3-1 in Mushi League, so I'm doing excellent.
You guys are really just RFNing right now. Like, you're setting the tone, and I kind of fuck with it. Was that the strategy going in?
Because we don't have time to wait around for Sunday Premier League. All right.
That's true. I don't think.
Although my opponent needs to get back to me. I've messaged him twice trying to get a game, and he has not responded.
Who do you play?
A free ass act win to me.
Yeah, but I want to play.
Can we see?
You can't get stars if you don't play.
That sounds like a budget for the next season.
No, I'm trying to get priced out of being retained.
So a few matches have played. Enlightened Endperts up 3-1 on Flock. You goddamn hate to see it. Unless you're Jumpy, in which case you're probably delighted.
Well, I'm delighted.
Or Tetrafolium, because we're on the same team.
That is very true. You guys are very much on the same team. We'll be talking about all these teams. Huntail X Hunters and Tooth Fairies 2-2. It's a good matchup. And I think my team is 0-1 right now. Beetle Battalion. Unfortunate. I think I didn't watch the sets, but I heard that Samuel Best may or may not have been the victim of a little bit of hacks.
Other way
He was
around.
not.
Other way
around.
Really?
Dang, Samuel
Yep.
Best is hacking and still lost. That's crazy.
Samuel
I don't know.
Best got bailed like a million times in that set.
Elian activated like rage mode. It was crazy. He was clicking so fast and like tilted his fucking chat, but just getting everything right.
I
That's
DM'd
kinda
him in
baller.
between games, and I was like, man, that was something. Hit me with the in Spanish. This game is my mental, like my emotional outlet.
That's healthy, we'll say.
Well, many more matches to be played this week, and there's 12 total teams this season. I think we'll just go alphabetically and start off with my former team and current team down 3-1 in week 1 against the Enlightened Endperts, which feature both Jumpy and Tetra. These are the players. We've got H-Clat, Cyber Odin, Cactu. Pretty fucking strong top 3, if you ask me. I guess to some degree, the question is, how seriously is H-Clat going to take it? But if you look at how well he's done in King of the Hill lately, he's obviously still got it. There's some other players here. What are our initial thoughts? Like, what observations would you guys make? What jumps out at you?
Well, you don't even have to worry about if H-Clat's taking it seriously, because this guy will bring fucking Lotad and win the game. So
He will. He actually will.
Yeah, the Flock has some really solid players. Cactu is like my secret ingredient for Mushi League. That guy, well, at least when he was on the Psychic Guardians, he was super active in chat and was a huge chat presence that made the server way more active. And then when I lost him to I don't remember, some other guy in season 20, and I literally didn't have a chance to get him, I was devastated. He's my boy.
You lost him to the Endperts.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
He was fantastic. I think, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a budget ghost coach, Cactu's got to be one of the best.
Cactu's
I
just
think Cactu.
Go ahead.
I think he is legitimately the strongest third slot in the entire league. If you
Whoa.
Like
Let's quickly skim. I want to test this claim. Stop me
I
when
think that's probably accurate.
I want all three of you to stop me when I get to a player that you think is better than Cactu.
But here's the thing, Buzz.
Go.
Cactu is actually a second slot. Like, he has a better pick than Cyber Odin. He just happens to be lower stars because Cyber Odin was farming like third slot last season.
Okay,
yeah, we'll get to Cyber Odin, but let's go through it, Zets.
Let's go through it. Okay,
Anyway,
so Samuel Best.
Easy Cactu.
Yeah.
Easy Cactu.
Just only stop me if I name a player better than Cactu.
All right.
Texas Cloverleaf.
I think Cloverleaf's good, but Cactu's better.
Yeah.
Gang.
Same.
Probably
Elliot.
Cactu.
Ooh, Elian's up there. Elian's
that
competition
close?
for best third slot.
So Elian, the thing with Elian is like he's been out of it for a long time. Elian's highs back in the day are higher than anything Cactu's done in his career at this point. But if we're talking like today, right now, who I'm picking,
1v1.
I think it's pretty damn close.
Okay, there's a conversation there. I have not heard of Bread, but how do we feel about Bread? Versus
He's been around a long time. He is not in Cactu's level.
I don't know this player either.
Ercia. Yeah, same thing.
I think Ercia made finals of the like what's it called? Swiss, like the Smogon Swiss tour, but that tour was scuffed as hell. Ercia is definitely not bad, but I would still say Cactu's better.
Lighthouses.
Mm.
Voyager.
No.
Depression
Again, once
Cherry?
upon a time, Voyager was good, but
No,
he's
probably not.
actually washed. Cherry, no.
Just Leo.
No.
And H over L.
No.
Okay. So that holds up. Yeah, definitely a top 2, arguably top 1, top 2, third slot. That could be an advantage for Flock.
Yeah.
And I think Jumpy's right that he probably does second slot more than he does third slots this season. I think Cyber Odin's got a ton of history in the, just in ADV in general. You look at Cyber Odin's record really since like season 15. And aside from last season, from season 20, it's kind of ugly.
I think he could do well in third slot.
It gets a little ugly, actually.
Yeah, that season 16 record, he was on my fucking team, by the way, for that
Dead
one.
games week 1 and then loses out the rest of the season. Holy shit.
Ew.
And
Not what you would expect.
We had such a good bottom slots in that season, but I'm gonna not get tilted about that one.
Yeah. No, you seem so over it. You're like totally over it emotionally.
Okay, anyway, so yeah, H-Clat is also like, he's such a LARPer in Gen Chat, but when he was on the season 14 Psychic Guardians, he was actually a better teammate than I expected. I thought he would just be like, oh, he shows up and plays his games and then like kind of just shit talks to the players. But he was actually a helpful teammate. Definitely not like as active as Cactu, but more value than you'd think. Lori and Corvinus are both very good like captains, like low star captains. I don't know if they're not self-sufficient, but they drafted Cactu and H-Clat.
So and they have Z Panther as well.
And they have Z Panther. And as mid-star players who will like bring activity to the chat and like be grinding and like discuss interactions and stuff, I think they fit that mold well.
Look out for Mom's Dump
in
Truck.
In terms of the new players,
by the way, this is
Mom's Dump Truck and Hikari are both players that I would have like wanted to draft as well.
I was telling my team to get Mom, and we nearly did, but we couldn't quite get him in time.
I think Hikari kind of was under the radar for a lot of people. I think they have a very strong track record of like top 16s, like just barely missing the spots where people would have really noticed. And when we were checking ladder stats and stuff like that, really high GXC, just a really good track record. I think
like 71 GXD on their main or something like that. Which, if you're not in the like Mushi League, rating new players trenches where you have to like evaluate 40 new players this season, GXC of like 66 or 67 is about the break point between being like an old 1.5 and an old 2-star. So Hikari was well over that.
Can I ask a quick clarifying question? How many teams make playoffs?
6.
6. Okay.
And there are 12 teams, right?
12 teams. When it was 10, it was 4 teams made playoffs. With 12 plus, it's 6. Top 2 seeds will get a bye.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
All right. Here's like an idea I'm having. We have 12 teams to get through, and I'm gonna cap it at 10 minutes per team, so we have a 2-hour stream. We didn't spend all of the past 10 minutes on Flock, so I'll let people make some closing arguments and start thinking about where are they gonna go. The stream will now be able to see the tiers, and I kind of just came up with these on the spot, but it was S, A, B, C, whatever. I have title favorite, contenders to win the title. Like it's plausible that they could win. Teams that will almost surely make playoffs. And maybe this is too top heavy because there's only going to be 6 playoff teams in general.
Yeah, I'd make this 4 tiers.
4 tiers. Okay.
Versus 2.
I agree. Okay, so let's get rid of this one. So title favorite, contenders, playoff contention, or maybe playoff contention here.
Yeah. Because I can't tell you the difference between playoff, like a lock of playoff, and like a contender. If you make playoff, like anything can happen in 2 or 3 weeks.
True.
We've seen some real Cinderella runs. Have you ever heard of the Shock Tank?
I don't think I'm privy to the Shock Tank.
It's for the best.
I'm guessing it's a team that barely made the playoffs and went on like a Cinderella run, and did the
2
impossible.
seasons in a row, they started with 2 losses, scraped into playoffs as bottom seed, and made finals.
That is pretty sick.
Lost both finals, but still.
That's playoff contention. That's where I have the Smeargulls. I think H-Clat is a really, really big team asset. I think Cactu is a big team asset. I think Cyber Odin can be very hit or miss. Mid slots are okay. There's a lot of new people in there, and I think that there's a potential for some growing pains as new captains. There's a lot of stuff that goes into us, captaining these teams when you have 12 people that you have to look after.
True.
Yeah.
It's really hard to especially the first one when I haven't studied the other rosters to say where this ranks amongst the rest.
And we can move people around as we get more of these on the list. If we realize, oh no, now that we think about it, this team actually needs to go higher. We can adjust as we go. Are we all okay with playoff contention for now, or does anybody think that we're underrating Flock by putting them merely here?
I want to look at some other teams 4 through 6 slots, because I think that's where I'm worried about the Flock. B-Hole, he's so easy to prep for. We just stuck one of our guys with some B-Hole smasher teams, and fuck B-Hole.
Mom's dump truck
B-Hole
here
refuses to run Skarmory or Blissey.
Mom, I agree. The Flock should be the title favorite, but the problem is they didn't retain me, and thus they will not be the title favorite, sadly.
So
that's funny.
I don't know. They're playoff contention probably, but they could be higher.
I definitely I would not be shocked to see them make playoffs. We did not make playoffs last year. Z Panther was playing. I think Zach PZ was playing. They're not playing anymore. I had a good season in whatever slot I was in. They shuffled the deck. Cactu looks nice. I do like some of these lower slots. Did they get better than last year? Net positive or net negative? To me, it looks kind of like a wash. And so we were close. We were in contention for playoffs until the last week, and then we were knocked out. So we'll come back to them if we feel it's necessary. But let's move on to the Beetle Battalion. This is my new team with Genexus and Feagle as the captains and the top 2 slots. So they have a lot on their plate. It's a brand new team, and there's a lot of activity going on. The vibes are pretty good. They're taking it pretty seriously and trying to put all the players in a good position. We've got Samuel Best, as we just described. Artie, myself. I don't know this player that well. A large mongoose, seen them around, seen them in revival and stuff. Slam and BBQ running them on the ladder every day. And Ramboat is here. Ramboat feels like an insane. What is that? A 9 slot? That's crazy.
Yep.
What do you guys
That's
think?
pretty sick.
I think this team has just insane lineup depth. This team, how it's built, reminds me a ton of how the council was built last season. For those who don't know the lineup rules, you can only move people in their slots if they're within 0.3 star rating of each other.
Mhm.
And if you look at their fourth slot through their, third to last slot, everybody's within 0.4. So the
Yeah.
amount of lineup flexibility they have to fish matchups, just reorder all of those folks is really, really valuable. People might argue the top 3 spots are a little bit weaker than some of the other, teams. But I mean, Genexus, I top slotted him all of last season. He more than held his own.
Mhm.
Feigl has shown that he can go toe to toe with just about anybody. Samuel Best, he's new to the league. Like, what they get out of him is gonna be pretty important, I think. But I mean, I helped rate him as the Jumpy, and his resume was impressive. So,
Tetra, what do
Oh,
you
yeah.
think?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with the idea that the flexibility of moving your matchups around is really strong. Say you have a player like, let's say Artie, for example, just because he's at the top, and you're saying, well, maybe Artie's not quite as prepped or as warm as some of these other players. We can easily throw him down into like the 5 or 6 slot, and then he'll just farm somebody who's most likely not as good a player as him. So I like that. Another thing that is important to note for those who are maybe not as familiar with how Mushi goes is how the weeks work is the team that gets the most wins the week. So
True.
and every win is just as equal as each other. So
Mhm.
yeah, you might have, you could have like McMegan, ABR, which I don't think they've played in Mushi, but I'm not sure.
No, they have not.
Who would like be heavy favorites against whoever they played against, but that's only one win for your team.
Right.
So you have to allocate your points in such a way that most of your team can win. So I think that these middle slots are extremely important, and the amount of depth that I see on the Beetle Battalion, I think gives a lot of promise.
I'm gonna be the hot take merchant, I guess. I
Okay.
don't think this lineup is good. It's one of my weaker picks. So Genexus going positive as like a 2.5 in top slot last season. This guy was obviously like the budget pick of the year.
Yeah.
But what he doesn't provide is building. And on the Wiseman's Council, like that wasn't a problem because you had so many other like hardcore thinkers and builders. The Beetle Battalion does not have that. There's no one on this team who I think is good at prep. In addition to that, I think there's a lot of overpays on this lineup. I don't know if I should name specific names that might be hurtful, but
I mean,
all
I
right,
think
we'll put it out
there are
there.
people who I think had a good last season,
Mhm.
and now they're going to be asked to slot higher. Like Bello Figo was farming bottom slot last season. I think he's good at that. I have not seen from him that I think he's going to be able to hold his own in like mid slots. Mongoose is going to go
slot
even
right now.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of low. Mongoose going to go even. He's gone even every season. I think Artie is overperformed lately and will probably sink back down. Again, he's like just been around for so long, and it's not like I've seen him grinding. So I think last season was kind of anomalous, and he's going to sink.
Just
I don't
just
think
say
this
it.
team is looking that good, but
Zet's at 5th slot. You can say it, Jumpy.
no,
Give me
I
your
think
take.
Zets is
Give me
going to
your
go
take.
even in 5th slots.
Let's
Yeah, and
let's
then Ivy is
do the
also,
5th
like-
slot scout real quick.
Ivy's probably also the single worst player in Mushi League right now. But by being bottom slot, like whatever, you're gonna lose all your games, but it's not that big a deal.
And they might not even play because I mean, at least
Just don't
this week, I
slot.
think
Well, that's the
our
thing is
opponent only has 8.
Ivy
8
also like
players.
signs up to play every week. Like sometimes you get a B.exe who's worse than Ivy, but like doesn't play.
Uh-huh.
But with Ivy, if you want to bench Ivy, you have to feel bad about it because Ivy actually signs up to play.
Brutal.
So
Brutal.
let's do like a quick experiment and then rank this and move on.
Right.
So we're up against the Jubilant Jolteons. Jumpy, I don't know if you've done predictions yet, but just
I don't do predictions as a rule. Just
Neither do I.
why not?
Yeah,
But I can do 'em for the
me
stream.
Either.
all right. Eden wins. Tyros wins. Elian wins. Artie wins, Mason wins, Mongoose wins, Slamon wins, Saint Ome wins. That's my predictions.
Okay, so you've got Jolteons taking it pretty easily.
Like 6-3 or something.
I appreciate the bulletin board material. That's big for a guy like me. A guy like
Yeah,
me
the rat
writes that
poison,
down and
right?
looks at it every day.
I think you can beat Mason. Like, I think that's very even.
I mean, I've been grinding more than him, and that's not. I'm not saying that he's like, oh, he's slack. Like he's just focused on other stuff. At the same time, I've already admitted this. He's the only one of us who's taking a set off of BKC. I have respect for Mason in many ways. I think it's going to be a great set. To me, it feels almost like a coin flip, but we've literally never played a friendly. So,
well, I think you're in better playing shape right now, but I think Mason's got a deeper builder.
It could be the case.
I think you got Mason.
We'll
I
see.
think you got Mason's Zeds.
Let's find the spot on the board for the Beetle Battalion. Jumpy, you seemed a little lower. Are you thinking more playoff contention, or
They're
we are not
definitely
even
too
that
below
high?
the Smeargull to me.
Okay, so lower
I
than
wouldn't put
Smeargull,
them
but by a
I
whole
wouldn't put them
tier.
a tier lower though.
Buzzed, I'm gonna recuse myself from this. So Buzzed, what would you say?
I think that they're contenders with just how the lineup's built. Personally, we didn't touch on Tizio, but Tizio's an SPL other tier player. There's always so much potential for really high upside, and if all of a sudden Tizio proves that they can be fourth slotting and taking games comfortably as a fourth slot, everyone else gets knocked down one. I think there's good potential here. I have them a tier above the Smeargull or the flock of Smeargulls, but not by like a ton. But I think they're a good team.
If Tizio pops off, then that could definitely be a game changer. I will say that historically, non-mainers who are just like good in other tiers and then sign up for Mushi League do terribly.
Okay, that's a valid perspective. It seems like the average is putting us practically on top of Flock. I'll put us behind Flock for now. And we're okay being underrated. That's right where we want to be. So
Wiseman's Council was like fucking 12th on the PR for 2 seasons in a row. So
One once, made finals the other.
okay. Enlightened Endperts. Now we have 2 of you in the chat right now. And I'll just go ahead and say, you guys have a lot of fucking chillers. There's just a lot of like cool guys, like chill broskies on the team.
That was the way that Spreek and Juke wanted it.
And that's the way they got it. Spreek and Juke, Spreek is playing, Juke is not, it appears.
Right.
But that's excellent support.
he is active in prep. He's just not feeling like playing.
Yeah. I mean, you got like your Tetrafoliums, you got your Stormcrows. I voice called with Stormcrow for the first time the other day, and I was impressed with his knowledge and ability to articulate some concepts. I saw him on the ladder. We didn't play, but I was checking ladder, and he's relatively high up. I think he's somewhat valuable at a 2.3 right now. Edia is here. She is literally top ladder with CB Ninjask post speed pass ban. Is that
who that is?
It is.
Yep.
Yes. Mint Yerb, Garpachi. A lot of Zets quarters. A lot of Zetsers on this team. A lot of overlap.
Mint Yerb in second to last slot is really good.
That's fucked up. There's just a lot to love about this team, and they're already like killing it in week 1. They're already up 3-1 over the Flock.
Although the sets were close. The sets were like too close for comfort.
And the
But
week
we
is
are
not
out.
over. The week is not over. There's 4, 8. There's 11 matches. So 2 more sets. It could be completely tied up, obviously. At risk of being like kind of biased because there's 2 of you in here and I'm friends with a lot of you guys. I mean, upon first glance, this just looks really strong to me. Buzz, you might be the least biased of us. What do you think?
This is the number 1 team in the league on PRs for me. I think that this team is just like extremely strong across the board. I think like if you're trying to look up and down that lineup at slots that might have some struggle, I think Kinga is like as a 4 slot might struggle a little bit. I think Tree is probably going to go even in that slot. Every other slot I think has high upside. I think you have great support in Jumpy. You have great support in Spreak. You
Yeah.
have great support in Juke.
Yeah.
Texas Cloverleaf, I think, is really good.
Got some good
Like
teams,
the
too.
the only criticism I can levy is if they were to get off to a bad start and people were throwing games in bad manners, they do have Jumpy on the team, and he's known to grenade an 0-2 team in the past, but I just don't see it happening.
Okay, that's an interesting observation. I also want to point out that they have Tree 69-420, which is arguably one of the best tags in the entire league. The vibes are just off the charts. It is kind of hard to find a weakness or a vulnerability. And when we have the knowledge of them already being 3-1 in week 1, and it's like already starting to look like what we expect, I kind of think we can just put them in title favorite and move on. Any objections from Jumpy and or Tetra, or other things you guys want to point out about your team?
I don't have any objections. I just do want to say, because it's funny, that we spent our first round pick on Stormcrow, and literally within like 2 hours of being drafted, he pinged both of our captains to say, "Hey, I'm AFK the entire season." So I was like, great.
That's
But-
funny.
But we have enough of a strong team that even if we lose Stormcrow, I actually still think we're fine.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, that
I mean,
is
if I'm
good.
gonna
Please.
if I'm gonna speak for myself here, I do think that the way that Mushi is constructed, it can be difficult to come in as a rookie and then do well in your rookie season and then figure out what you're doing in your sophomore season.
Unless you're either of us.
And well,
Right. I did say
Maybe,
that
we'll
same thing about Bello Figo, that like bro's gonna have to like level up. And I
Right.
think you're in the same boat.
yeah. So, you know, to stroke my ego a little bit, I was rookie of the season last season, went 6-2, but
True.
that means that now I'm not an 8 slot anymore. I'm chilling out in this like 4-5 line.
True.
So the competition is going to be much better. Now, I like to think that I've prepared myself for this, so I hope to do well. But like that could be a chink in the armor if you want to look for one.
Yeah, Tetra like
I mean-
so overrated. Had like one good run, and all of a sudden he's a 5 slot. I don't know. I don't know about all of it.
Again, you
We
have the
can throw
ability
them all the
to
way
drop.
down to like 8 slot though.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was going to
True,
say.
the
You have the
flexibility.
ability, if you start having like a couple tough weeks, you can always drop you a couple slots. I mean, I think, especially if Stormcrow is around, Stormcrow can play up, Ryo Yamada can play up.
Xtina
like-
with a combo of interesting remarks saying these guys are going to farm all season and will get hosed super bad in the playoffs. She also says, I was rookie of the season, and look at me now, Tetra. Don't get your hopes up. Hilarious.
Damn.
Thank you,
my
Xtina.
stuff.
Well, Xtina's a 3-star player, so I mean, maybe I can get there eventually.
The really tough one you want to avoid is being on a team like this, and then you do get sack slotted, you get thrown in the 8 slot because you're like struggling a little bit to farm in where you're supposed to be, and then next season you're at like 2.7 and you're at like that Orsu valuation where you have to 4th slot. So that's what you want to avoid, is like Tetra, if you don't level up, that might be your fate next season, and then you will be like a nice overpay.
Well, I think I'd
We-
rather be an overpay and get humbled than like
We can talk
Ian
about that when we
drops.
get to the council about 4th slots or 4 slots that are going to struggle.
All right.
All right. We have Endperts in title favorite for now. Huntail X Hunters, led by Joj, Black Ace 87. Two gamers I don't know very well. Led in the first slot by Mielke, Zeph, Gang, Voz. This guy mucks. Known gamer, this guy mucks. And I don't know that many of these other players. What are our thoughts? Initial thoughts?
I'll go first on this one. So Mielke obviously had a crazy top slot season last season. And now I think he's like at a proper valuation, which means that like, you know, he's a little more of a strain on the budget. He has very strong opinions in prep. some of which I hate.
Yes, he does.
I think he is good. I think he is good at prep. I still hate his teams. It is going to be interesting to see if he's passing teams to the whole squad, which it looks like is what's going to happen. You know, this is his opportunity to be like, look, no, I know what I'm doing. You know, I've passed teams to everybody and they're cooking your ass. So come at me, Mielka. Zelf, obviously coming off a huge hiatus, questions of rust, but he came back in his first set and smoked 48 and played pretty good doing it. So I don't think they have to worry about that, which helps a lot. Jodge made finals of an ADV Cup and somehow is like negative all time in Mushi League as like a 2-star. What the hell is going on there? I don't know. Can someone explain that to me? If he can figure out, like, if he can remember how to play Pokemon, that's going to make a big difference. Otherwise, I don't think these players are, like, I think accurately rated. They're not super impressive. Like, Muck's known quantity at this point. Like, he's a stall, like, one trick. Gang, I don't know. He's, like, has highs, but then he has, like, super lows where it's like, did you forget what you're doing entirely? Yeah, this team is, like, solid, but not super impressive to me.
Tetra buzzed. Any strong opinions on this?
I think this team really is gonna go the way of Milky. If Milky's really active and present in his passing teams, I think this team is going to succeed, especially if people buy into the line of building that Milky is selling. You know, not everybody does that, but you know, he's obviously found some pretty good success in the scene with his sort of line of thinking. I think that the low slots here, there are some tough things. Black Ace is technically the co-captain here, but my understanding is it's an IRL of Jodge who just coming in to kind of get in the league and see what's going on. So I don't know really the state of their ADV experience.
Yeah, it's odd to me to see the bottom slot 1.5 star rating gamer as a co-captain, but like you guys point
It's an
out,
administrative role, I believe.
yeah,
Jodge was like, I need someone to like help me do lineups and shit.
Mielke is going to truly be like the leader of the pack, like you said, passing teams, and to some degree, I think this will be not a referendum, but like this will show us a lot about Mielke's ability to lead a group. But also it will depend on how active he is able to be, because he is also in SPL right now, which SPL will end before Mushi does, right? Or no? Is it
Roughly
mostly
the same
just
time?
I guess it is.
That
mostly.
could be a double-edged sword though, because yes, that might mean Mielke is not as full focused on Mushi League, but he's going to learn some things from his SPL teammates and see some teams, and maybe he will bring that to his team.
Fair point. So are we thinking
Mielke led Golden State Dusket Ballers were also like legendary underperformers for their entire run, but he could easily say, you know, there was a lot of cooks in that kitchen. This is his team, you know?
Yeah, he's the number one option. He's got no excuses. It'll be interesting to see how they do. I think they're 2-2 right now against the Tooth Fairies in week 1. So it feels like they're somewhere in here. Where exactly do we think they need to go?
I say contenders. Playoff contention.
Playoff contention.
They'd be top of playoff contention for me. I think that Beetle Battalion's a little bit better than them. But I also think Beetle Battalion's better than where they're at on this list right now.
True.
Sounds like we have literally no consensus, because I would order it Flock, Hunters, Battalion.
Okay, so you would have them beneath Flock. Tetra, do you have a strong opinion here?
I mean, it's a little hard for me to say. It's kind of dependent on, do you value leadership over depth?
Yeah,
I think Battalion's got more depth, but maybe leadership is more valuable. So I think I would agree with this rating.
I guess I should include that I think Genexus is a much more active prepper and builder than Jumpy gives him credit for. He was, again, top slotted for me last season, and he was all over everyone's thread week in, week out, even just as a player for me. So I think that he actually will be pretty active. You know, you can definitely make the argument if he's going to be a productive help in prepping and passing teams. He plays some pretty crazy offense, but he definitely is active in it.
I guess I was not familiar with his game. I mostly knew him as like reuse the same Superman team.
He made a really strong run in like whatever tournament it was that Nex ended up winning. It was them in grand finals. Like what was that, like 4 or 5 months ago? It was like some circuit event. And
no, that was him. That was Connects in like Scooty McBooty in finals.
Genexus made like top 3 of that, I think. Then, like, I remember he made like a.
Are you sure it wasn't? Was it ROA?
It was Global Championship, wasn't it? That he made super deep run. He made like top 4 in something, but it was not.
There was like 2 like concurrent tournaments. I couldn't keep him straight, but I basically, all in all, what I'm hearing is basically 3 different ways of ordering these teams, which tells me that they're all probably on the right tier, at least.
Yeah.
I think for now, I'm gonna leave them like this, and if we feel strongly, we can come back and reorganize.
Last Genexus shout, basically 100% of the prep I did for my Mugulus top 8 run was just me asking him for teams an hour before games, and
wow,
just sending them.
Yeah,
and
maybe his builder's deeper than I would have given it credit for.
Yeah, same.
All right,
Jolts.
The Jubilant Jolteons.
Petra, you want to start?
I mean, the first thing that jumps out to me is how top heavy this team is. Those top 3 slots are really, really high, and then there's a big fall off, like more than 1 star. So to me, that kind of suggests that the top 3 better win, and that some of these lower players need to like hold on.
Okay, but can I ask a question? How is Klurd like a 2.1 star? Isn't he like insane?
He started as a 2-star and literally lost like 6 weeks in a row.
Like, what do I know his name? Like, isn't he like really good in like draft or something?
Klurd has had some really, really good runs in basically every revival tour he's ever played.
That's where I know from the revival. Okay. It doesn't go any further for him on the site than season 18.
I guess I misremembered. He only lost 3 in a row to start. Oh, he started as a 1.5? Never mind.
Yeah, he started as a 1.5.
Yeah, after losing 3 in a row, he's only lost 3 additional times, winning 7 times since then, I guess.
Okay, we screwed up at some point, I guess, or something, because you can see in season 18 we rated him 2 stars, and then in season 19 he must have got adjusted to 1.5 without having actually played. So I misremembered how he got to 1.4.
He got picked up as a mids and then just never even joined the Tooth Fairy server.
Yeah.
And so then like maybe he left the server, came back, and we missed it. And I remember NCH Max being like, this guy sucks. He's in total activity risk. He never even joined my server when I picked him up in mid. And he's never missed a game since.
Interesting.
Yeah.
H-Clad is here
He's
asking...
also ESL, so I think he probably just like forgot he signed up for Mushi, and then it was like hard to get in contact with him. But yeah, he's been active since.
Okay, Jubilant Jolts. Yeah, I don't know. I would think that a player who has like made like multiple like fairly deep tournament runs would be like highly capable of performing in like a 7 slot.
Klurd's great value. I heavily considered retaining Klurd on the council. I probably should have, but neither here nor there.
Okay. Like,
is Finchley new this season?
Yes.
Yeah.
Finchley has been in the server for a long time, but we went a long time between seasons here, so.
True.
I feel like they'll be pretty good as a rookie.
I think Finchley's solid.
Yeah, as a third to last slot that could be value.
So Saint Ome, I think, is pretty solid. I think that they're definitely a budget at 2.3. The issue is they're still force slotting as a 2.3. On some of these other teams, a 2.3 puts you in like slot 7 or 8.
Right.
Being force slot 2.3 is a little bit tough. I think this
I think
draft
Ome's going to get absolutely stomped in whoever they put in fourth slot in this team's going to get stomped.
Yeah,
Tetra and I are
think
2.5 and 2.4, and we're 5 slotted. And this is somebody 1 or 2 star points lower in the 4 slot. That feels a little stretched thin, which goes back to Tetra's remark that like after the top heavy 3 players, like maybe they lack a little bit of depth, but maybe we'll see because my team plays it this week.
The unfortunate thing is none of their top 3 are like that helpful for prep either. Like Eden and Elian, I think, are good at prep but not active, and Tyrus, I think the opposite is true. So
Eden passes a lot of stuff that is not new player friendly as well. Like Eden plays crazy stuff, makes crazy clicks. I had Eden on my team when the council won 2 seasons ago. Had a fine season, top slotting for me, but Oof and I were playing damage control every time he'd pass a team, saying, "Hey, this looks interesting, but maybe we should play something a little more linear for our newer guys." Eden is a madman, and he'll win completely lost-looking positions, making just crazy call-outs that you'd never think of. But yeah, I agree. There's not a whole lot of consistency or cohesion on this team in my mind.
It sounds like this
is like turn 1 plays that will absolutely lose you the game if you don't call it right, and calling it right every time. But not great for passing teams, maybe.
This sounds like the team that we've been least impressed with thus far.
I would put Jubilant Jolteons in the rest. The last thing I'll say about Eden is that he is a terror to play friendlies with, because he has 50 million different ideas in his builder, and if he gets called out on something like turn 7 into a friendly, he'll just instant forfeit and try something else.
That sucks.
I used to have a friend when I played doubles, Blood Totem. I mean, we're still friends, but neither of us play doubles anymore. But we would do that so often. One of our mutual friends remarked that the average length of a friendly between us was 1 turn.
That's crazy.
You don't even get the turn 2. Like, at least see what the flop is, right?
Oh, okay. I'm seeing
Well,
in chat.
doubles like team preview. It's so like you just like he'd like Stone Edge my Aegis Slash turn 1 as it switches to Charizard, and I'd just be like, all right, forfeit, new game.
Okay, I did see in chat someone mentioned a thing about Ant playing on shrooms, so I need to drop a announcement that was posted back in season 19 in the Flock Council by our man Oof. I'm putting it in stream for you, Zets.
Please do. As we start to look at our next team, which to me has the coolest name and logo by far, MF Houndooms. There's a lot of aura going on. They're captained by Ferdazi and Jof, and also UDM. I
think a lot are going to see Ferdazi at the top and say, well, I mean, they've got a really solid top slot. But look at the freaking bottom slot. That's
how is this even possible?
Sandbag. That's the craziest sandbag I've ever seen.
I don't know how this is allowed. I don't know how we've allowed this. Can anybody explain this?
Joe earned his dog shit rating. That dude was grinding all the way from 1.5
Holy
to 1
fuck,
star.
he went 0-6. Or no, 0-5.
On a
He didn't play
He
week
lost
4.
his last
On a championship
7
team.
Mushi League games.
0-5 in season 20.
And it wasn't like he was
dang,
fighting.
VZR
Like
beat
top
him?
slot. He was
Okay,
in bottom
whoa,
slot.
whoa.
in
I know that was my
Don't hate on
teammate,
VZR.
but I forgot. Big ups to VZR. That's a huge win.
Okay. Maybe Jof has just kind of leveled up and also just happened to have a bad season last season.
Jof
It is
has
possible he was
won.
playing a long game. He was like, we're going to win this season even though I suck. And the next season, I'm so cheap. We're going to kill it again.
I think you're right. It's the long game, and for that reason, it's hard to not put a lot of respect to MF Houndoom's name at this time.
Jof has
Yeah.
won 2 Mushi sets ever.
Well, okay, so
In
maybe
in 3 seasons, Jof has won 2 Mushi League sets ever. 3 if you count the Act win.
maybe the tank isn't over for Jof. Maybe they're still thinking, no, we're still gonna win the championship. Jof, keep tanking the star rating, and
After
we'll,
Buzz bumped Jof up half a star point, like there's so much more down we can go.
Exactly.
All right, but putting that
Trust the
shit talk
process.
aside, let's talk about the rest of the team. So Sharky King is the sneaky goat. He has 3 rings, I think. No, he's got the MF Houndooms, the Jirachis, and the Psychic Guardians. So 3 rings
Yeah.
in 4 seasons.
that's a lot of rings.
Um,
And this guy racks up a
Fugazi-
lot of goddamn wins. Goddamn.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he
was
climbed
coaching
from
too.
2-star to what 2.7, and then got bumped. Fugazi obviously is a very good player and has a lot of good teams. If he can avoid mental booming, then that's great. Like, I got accused of blowing up a team that was 0-2, but Fugazi is the goat of that. He's done it 3 separate times.
Game recognized
So-
game.
Fugazi is the king of that 100%.
Muteki and Halbert Simpson are both like new to the league 2 stars that I'm very jealous aren't on, like, I wish they were on my team. I played Muteki in Revival and I was
Mhm.
impressed for sure. Halbert
Zets
Simpson,
quarters.
you know, I've just been watching him play. I've never had the pleasure of playing against him, but another player who's like, you know, I want that guy on my team.
Yeah.
Well, you have to think about it like this. Halbert Simpson was the first overall pick of the draft, which isn't as probably not as exciting as being like the first overall pick of like the NBA draft, because there's definitely some budget constraints early on. But Fugazi played Halbert Simpson in Iron Mugulus, so
Yeah.
I think that speaks really, really highly of what Fugazi thinks about Halbert, that he was the first player that he wanted on the team.
True.
I will qualify that the first round of the Mushi draft does have special limitations or stipulations on who you can pick, and so Fugazi being the highest rated star captain in the whole league was limited to picking someone that was a 2.0 or below. That said,
Yeah.
Halbert Simpson was still the first 2.0 off of the board out of anybody, and I
Yeah.
think it was a very meaningful and smart pick.
That's Fugazi
Uh,
saying of everybody 2.0 and lower, Halbert is the best. And
Yes.
it's hard to disagree. Halbert had a great Iron Mugulus 2 run, getting top 5, I think, ended up getting 5th or 4th, something like that. And I have high expectations for them in this season, especially in the slot that they're in. We'll see how that goes.
The question is always to me with a player like Hal, where it's like, you see how good this guy does, like, basically with no training, like, you know, no sensei.
Mhm.
And it's always like some of these guys, like, then you put them in an environment like Mushi League, and they go from like, oh yeah, he did pretty good on his own, to like, he's completely popped the fuck off. Fugazi himself is an example of this. Like, he was a 2-star who was like annoying people on ladder. Meowka's another example. Both joined the league as 2 stars and then like got their first like structured teaching and like mentors, and look where
Wow.
they are now. But there's also just as many who like, you're like, wow, imagine how good they could be, and the answer is like no better. So it's gonna be, you know, which of those, you know, which way does Halbert and Muteki go? Because
Yeah, I agree.
they're not like known quantities who have just joined Mushi League. They're like actual new players.
I think there are instances of people taking a step back before they take a step forward when they have a lot of natural talent in a tier.
Other than those players, also, Bread is probably overpriced for now. He's a known quantity of like, probably should be like 5th slotting. I think we had him like 8th freaking slot in the Yankees and he went negative. But he's very swingy, so he could do well. I don't know. Salvador is another player who's going to go negative for sure.
Whoa.
I went 4-2 on the Mankeys actually.
Brett did. Okay, I guess he went positive.
I thought
remember
you
being
were
pissed off at watching him play.
No, I remember. I had the same impression. I was kind of surprised by
Damn,
that.
season 20 you went 6-1.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe the Houndooms figured something out with that guy that we couldn't.
So how highly are we
Wavy-ish-
rating them?
Brett, he's in third slot. He's going to be going against like
I mean the
Cactu
team.
and-
No, the whole team.
Oh,
Contenders is where I have.
I would
Houndooms.
agree. Very
I
solid
agree.
support with Radazi UDM coaching.
UDM in the coach role is. I mean, UDM's just a prep demon. I've been on teams with UDM. I've had UDM come in and be like a counselor in playoffs for the Wiseman Council. Like he
very
he
solid.
passes some solid teams, has good prep.
Well, as long as he's not passing lead Toros, then I think they'll be doing fine.
Dude, he one
Right.
time passed me a Metacham team that I played into this guy Mux that like 5-0'd this guy Mux. It was like bulk up Lum Metacham lead that just ate. And I was like, dude,
Damn.
100% I won this just off of prep. So
All
love
right.
UDM.
MTT. I'll go first. Indo, it's a motivation question. I don't know how motivated he is lately. And when Indo is motivated, he's a super great top slot. When he's not, he'll like show up and play and like still do all right, but not exactly the support that this team's gonna need. Because Cammy and Jam are not the support that this team needs. They're great chat presence. But they are not, gonna be prepping the team. No one else here is going to be prepping the team. Like the best builder you've got if Indil isn't around is Ercia, who's solid, and like has access to good people's teams, through the like river cord connections, but I don't think that Ercia like has the prep ability to like pick the right teams all on her own. The Pokology is, if you thought Eden was useless for prep, like no one but Pokology can use Pokology teams. So.
It's hard to disagree there. The man does things that nobody else really ever does, and sees some success, going positive in season 20, negative in 19, negative in 18.
So we can pause it at season 18 there with Pokology.
Okay.
That was season 18 Shilling Whoopers. Pokology was my number one pick as my first season captaining. That season 18 Shilling Whoopers is arguably one of the worst Mushi League teams in Mushi League history.
Oh shit.
It was a rough go.
Okay.
Pokology was not a particularly helpful prepper or builder on that team.
Kind of like
Yeah,
Cyber it, really. Pretty
Yeah.
similar. We'll just like
Show up, play their
reuse
games.
teams from 2022.
Yep.
Did I see a slot 3 loss to Darth Tyros and then a slot 2 loss to a 1.9 star right after?
Very possible. It was it's crazy times.
That was the lineup science years. So it was a little different back then.
That's actually insane.
That's unfortunate. I will say a welcome guest. This is a player I was telling Genexus and Feagle to draft because they also had a great run in Iron Mugulus 2, a very strong run. I think they stayed in winners longer than basically everybody else who was not expected to make it that far. I don't know if they made it to winners semis, like something crazy. And
They made it to the top 8, I'm pretty sure.
and I was not aware of them up to that point. They've played in Mushi for many seasons. They've been
Forever.
around. They've been around.
Forever.
So I'm the one that doesn't know ball here. I don't know if they just popped off that one time or if they've been on the grind. Does anybody have any like knowledge, like how
I
how
have
nice is
knowledge.
this?
I was on team with Khalif for 4 seasons in a row, from seasons 8 through 11.
Okay.
Like old lore, and maybe it was 9 through 11. I don't remember if he was on season 8. Anyway, there was a time like 3 years ago where I thought he was on the come up, and then he like lost motivation, and just all the skill disappeared. And he's been a complete like bottom slot shitter for ever since. So like if he's like locked in, I think he could get back to being good. I don't know if that happened in Mugulus or if it was just like variance.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see all those red highlights, but
There's some red, especially as the deeper you go back. As we scroll up, there's a little more green. Not that much, though. It seems that they have, in fact, earned their 2-star rating. And keep in mind that that's +5, because everybody got adjusted up by 5. So before the adjustment, they were truly a 1.5.
and he started as a 2.5 when we did modern star ratings, because that was like right after his come up arc. So he has lost a full star on merit.
Okay.
So,
Well, yeah, maybe I'm not so upset that we didn't get this guy. But
I will-
I hope they prove us both wrong. I hope they pop the fuck off for their sake.
I'll shout out Ceratus too. I think Ceratus deserves a little more respect than he gets in general. I will also say 2.45 fourth slotting. That is probably going to be a tough ask of Ceratus on the trappers here.
That could be a tough sketch.
both of these players, Sarah and then Ercia, it's always like they both had really good previous seasons, which ironically means they might be overpriced.
Right.
Right. That's the funny thing about Mushi League is you want to buy low, sell high.
Mm-hmm.
And the trappers bought high on both of them. And if you've been like watching the games and you're like, no, I really think this is like just buy, like it's just going to keep going up. Players like that exist. But these are not new quantities. So either they're like something has clicked in their brain, which does happen sometimes, or they might be overvalued right now.
I think Ceratus at 2.45, like an old 1.95, is very appropriately rated. It's just having that person fourth slot is not great.
True.
Okay.
Right.
Vibing, I'm hearing like end of playoff contention or alongside the Jubilant Jolts.
To me, this is a team that is in the rest, personally.
Same.
Are we feeling better or worse about them when compared to the Jolts?
Worse, personally.
I think there's a little bit more upside to the Jolteons myself.
I think the Jolteons have a little more upside. I could see Jolteons going potentially sideways just because there's so many different types of characters on that team. The Trappers, I think you kind of know top to bottom, like who the people on this team are, what they are, like how they are going to get along together. And I just don't know that it's... And I should preface this that Mushi League has an insane amount of parity in general.
Right.
But like if we're looking at making decisions on the margins, I think that there's less upside here.
All right, 5 teams left. We've slotted 7 of them. And real quick look at the tier list so far. 1 in title favorites in the Enlightened Endperts. Contenders has MF Houndooms. Only 6 of the 12 teams will actually make playoffs. So there will probably be far fewer than 6 in the top 2 tiers. Probably more in the 3rd and 4th. Playoff contention, a flock of Smeargulls, Huntail X Hunters, Beetle Battalion, and the rest Jubilant Jolteons and Mirage. Tower Trappers. Moving on to the 710 Spheals. Led by Kaboon and Eva Kiyama. Zerkis, Lighthouses, Xtina as higher slots here. I'm a Blissey, fellow ADV YouTuber, and RNG manipulator guy. I think he's played in a couple seasons. Went 2-2 last season.
Is that actually I'm a Blissey?
Yeah, that's I'm a
I
Blissey.
did not know that.
Yeah. He was on Flock season 19. Oh, we were on I think we might have been on Murkrows together. No, because this is my 3rd season. I was on the 19 Murkrows and the 20 Flock, so we didn't have any overlap.
So you guys kind of did the swap.
Yeah, I've been following his teams, except that would mean that I would have been on the Trappers this season. And frankly, I'm happy to be on the Battalion. That said, who has a strong opinion here?
Well, looking at sort of the the criteria of like your third, fourth, fifth slots, I think you're actually pretty solid here. Lighthouses, Xtina, even Zirkus, I think are decent in those slots. The trade-off is that Kaboom as a top slot is maybe not like the strongest, but like we said, every win counts just the same. So, um, you know, have a lot of value, not necessarily a strong peak.
Kaboom has been going positive. I think has gone positive every season he's played, which I guess is how you get to 3.5 stars. So perhaps one might wonder, now that he's at 3.5 and top slotting, will this be the hardest season for him to keep that streak going? Like the average star rating that he was playing last year. Well, I guess this was before the star inflation, or does this show the inflation?
This is before the inflation.
Okay.
But like, look, he's got Donald and Zirkus and Sato
Beat
there.
Null,
Like
beat
he was
even
second
Kiana.
slotting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would take a Kaboom who like might go negative, but like is gonna be super preppy and active over an Eden who's gonna go positive and like cost an entire extra star against your budget and not help that much. The big question for me about this team is like the bottom four. I think everything from Duke Sucks up is a super impressive roster. And I guess you could pull like a Dusketballer's Gambit. And this team gets a lot better if you pull a Dusketballer's Gambit.
Is that where
the
you
bottom
just simply
four
say, oh, we only have 8 people that can play this week, and so you only have to play your top 8 slots?
Yes.
Gotcha.
The
Well,
bottom
so
four are like they have really poor records. So
Xtina
think
is
Eric-
alleging that Eric is cracked
Eric-
in the chat.
I think Eric is going to be very good. Eric,
oh yes, sorry, I don't know Eric. I was pointing at Blissey, the app Valances.
Eric is actually a melee mainstay for Colorado Melee. Been active in that scene for a long time. I've actually met him in person way back when in college.
Okay.
Connected to Tina, is going to have as much Tina support as humanly possible.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think that, he's not super active in the community at this point in time, but just has and we've seen some melee players come in and take to ADV and have some good success. And I
Not
think
really.
Eric has not really.
We've seen some players come in from Melee and like be journeyman in ADV. But,
Okay.
like,
We're talking Eric's a 1.5 here, right? And we're talking a new 1.5, not an old 1.5.
True.
I think if you look at some of the other bottom slots, if Eric is coming in bottom slot, I think that he feasts a little down there. I think he matches up very well.
Maybe not against Jove, but yeah, a lot of these other gamers.
Okay, not against Jove.
I would
again-
agree. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is an intriguing team. This is one I'm going to keep my eye on. I do agree. I think that the support is a little bit stronger than some of the other teams that we've seen.
Right.
It feels like
Eva
we're
Kiyama coaching, like you're gonna have some great teams, I think.
big fan of her YouTube channel and some of the teams that she's put out. He used to be on a crew with CTC. He's an old school Mons player. And Eric is one of the best retro trading card game players in the world.
He used to be on a crew with CTC. We can certainly get him canceled somehow.
Okay, there we go. Okay, well then,
Eric and Tina were on my board. Tina, I considered taking in the retention round had she made it to me.
All right.
okay,
To me, this is a contender.
Yeah, I agree that this is a contender.
Maybe a
I
title
think,
favorite, but
oh,
I don't
edging
have
on
a title
title
favorite.
favorite. Whoa, that's a lot.
I
of
think
respect.
contender. I think the Endperts are still. I mean, you can go back and look at the Endperts.
They're kind of the Endperts are kind of nice.
The Spheals have Eric and Blissey in the bottom 2 slots there, and we've got Garpachi, Mintyurb,
that's fucked.
Isnealon.
That's fucked.
Like,
yeah,
yeah, man.
like they're Endperts are just like so solid.
Maybe you can make the argument that the Spheals slots 4 through 6 are a little bit better than the Endperts, maybe, but the Endperts bottom slots are really, really good.
Do we? To me, the question is, do we like them more than MF Houndooms? And I think it's pretty close. I think we take a vote on
I
that.
do. But I already made my position clear. I also, before we move on really quickly, want to say, check out Duke Sucks' season 20. It is the most confusing win-loss history that you'll ever see.
Season 20.
You gotta pull it up on stream. You gotta pull it
Okay,
up.
hold on.
Oh my god.
All right, I've
Jamie.
got it here.
Jamie, pull this up.
Okay, week 1 loss to Wavyish. Week 2 wins versus Gang. Okay, and then beats Forte. Nice win. And then loses to Martini. And then beats Adam.
Adam, holy hell!
Yeah.
Wait. What are these slots? You went from 10 slot to 3 slot at the end of the season. What?
This reads like one of the teams
must have
was
been a
out of
sub.
contention and they fucking maybe it was a sub, maybe it was like a match fix for the lulz.
I think they were both out of contention. The two Fairies
can we just
definitely
watch this
were, but
that's
anyway,
hilarious.
we don't have time to watch the set.
No, we're
but
not gonna watch the set. But
Beat him in 2. Beat him in 2.
2-0.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well-
Jumpy thinks they go above MF Houndooms and arguably in title favorite. Buzzed, are they above, below, and or in title favorite?
I think they probably are above Houndooms. I don't think that they're. I think for me personally, Endperts are very clearly in a tier of their own in the league for post draft. I mean, obviously anything can happen, but that's just my personal take. If we're saying title favorite, that's a single title favorite, and to me, that's the Endperts.
Tetra, I'm gonna let you tiebreak where this gets placed.
I mean, you should take me with a grain of salt because I'm a lot less experienced than the other two, but I think
So
I kind
am
of
I.
favor the Houndooms a little bit more because their bookends are very strong. Well, Jof and Fredazi are very strong.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of additional players, and we've acknowledged a lot of like the mid slots we're big fans of.
That's true. I guess Muteki and Halbert Simpson are a little bit of unknown quantities. Like, I think they're going to do well.
I think
but
they're gonna shock some people, but
we can't say for sure.
it's Mushi
right? 'Cause
League.
We haven't seen them.
It's a fairly small sample size of games.
I'm going to believe in my Zets quarters, though. I think they
No,
might
for sure.
get the edge.
I mean, low key, like a lot of Zets quarters have been like kind of blowing up, like the community and people sharing replays and sharing teams, talking ball all the time. It's a real thing. It's a serious power up. I guess we'll leave 7 and 10 above MF Houndooms for now, and we'll move on. We got 4 left gamers, and we're gonna talk about the Slateport City Slackers with Colin and Coltior as captains. I will say,
I have a strong opinion here.
I know Jumpy has a strong opinion. I'm gonna let him start.
yeah, by all means, please go ahead.
This team is what motivated me to even post in PRs this season because I've never done it before. People are putting these in bottom tier. Are you fucking crazy? Are
Go
you
off.
actually insane?
Talk to him.
Like Colin's second slot. Hello,
That's
this
fucked
dude
up.
is like starting. He made like top 6 in CI, and he's fucking second slot on this team.
Literally an SBL gamer, by the way.
Janice and the Chungler are extremely good mid slots. I know Chungler went negative last season.
Yeah, Janice as
But-
a 6 slot is scary. God damn.
I have a ton of belief in that guy's brains, and Janice obviously had a crazy. He started at 1.5 last season, ground right up to 2, and then bumped to 2.5, and I think he belongs there. He had some other good tours that I'm not remembering what he did, but like, yeah, you've got top 2 with Jabba Colin. Voyager, third slot, like, also has serious upside potential. He's washed AF. But if he performs as he used to in the past, then that's huge upside. This team is really good.
Carter in the chat saying Voyager in slot 3 is better than most slot 3s. Has Voyager ever played? Why is there no data?
He's never played
not in modern Mushi.
in Modern Mushi. He's played in some seasons that aren't in the bot yet. But
Okay.
yeah, and then
Interesting.
Shiny also is like a really good bottom slot.
Is that the
like-
person that has like a channel where they commentate Mushi League games sometimes?
I think so. But give this guy El Clasico and he'll just farm bottom slots. He's been
My
doing it for
dude.
years.
Go. Sounds like
That's-
Zets.
That's
to
my
me.
kind of gamer right there. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, I guess there's a lot to like here. Coltior and I were supposed to play last season in Mushi. I don't know if anybody saw. I posted a little song because I was sad that Coltior acted, didn't respond to me, wasn't responding to anybody for a
I'm
minute.
afraid I'm gonna have to make a song this week.
Coltior has been Colin's Achilles heel for the last several seasons. Colin loves this guy and will always draft him and legitimately thinks he's good at Pokemon.
Yeah,
But at least Coltior is now priced low enough that he's a budget rebate. So
right.
for the first time, he's not going to be the chain around the Slacker's ankle.
I've just been told that like he can at any point, maybe due to like IRL stuff, like he can just go AWOL. And we saw it last season, and I hope everything's good, and I hope that they signed up and they're ready to go, and that they ball the fuck out. And in the third to last slot, you know, I guess you're not depending on them that much, and there is some value if they truly are a gamer and they're only 1.9. I'm seeing that there is something to like here, but some other gamers were putting them lower. So Jumpy, if you could try to avoid a straw man here, what do you think people who disagree with you would say about this team? What's the justification for some of like them rating it so lowly?
They would say that like Jabba is a lot of budget for a guy who's not very motivated.
Okay.
Voyager is activity and motivation, and Rust ?
Okay.
Kanash just had one of the worst Mushi seasons of all time. And is probably still overvalued if he continues to play as badly as he did last season.
2 seasons of straight losses and or dead games. Not a win until you go all the way back to season 18, where they went 5-1 in season 18.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe they are value here if they successfully tank their star rating sufficiently.
And then I guess that's probably what they would say.
Okay, so Buzz, you gave Jumpy the floor, and I want you to have the floor now, because I'm guessing, like most things, you don't agree wholeheartedly with Jumpy on this.
I think this team is good. I will start with that. I do think this team is good. I think Jabba, even if Jabba maybe is like, I don't think Jabba's better than Colin. Like, I'll say that, but Jabba's been able to consistently like go roughly even and just keep his star value for seasons and seasons and seasons.
A lot of dead games, though. It looks like they basically only play if
So-
they absolutely have to.
Yes, Jabba will play if he has to, which, you know, in some ways, that's a shelter. He's always willing to sign up to be slotted, but just by
He's
doing
scheduled
that,
for
he
Sunday
pushes-
night and then offers dead game if this week's over every time.
Yes, every time. And if you look at when he's slotted to play this week, it is Sunday.
Gotcha.
And so he only plays meaningful games and puts pressure on other people when they have to play. And worst case scenario, he dead games and he protected Colin from having a slot 1 and got to get a slot 2 matchup. So I think that there's value in that.
That is really interesting. That's an interesting strategy. Okay. So this, yeah, I'm intrigued by this team. I think like the Spheals, this is another one that I'm going to keep my eye on. I'm interested to see how this develops. And it sounds like we're thinking like higher end playoff contention, lower end contenders.
That's exactly where I would slot them. Somewhere in there. Probably high end playoff contention, low end contenders. Yeah.
Is that okay, Jumpy, or are we not giving them enough credit if they're not in the contenders tier? Are they bona fide
I'm fine with
contenders?
either way.
You're fine either
I
way.
think they're contenders, but
I don't oppose to that personally. Yeah, I
Alright.
think low end contenders is good.
Let's
I'd
slot
give
him
it a
here,
benefit of
and
the
again,
doubt.
we'll do a spot check when we're done, and we can move things around. Because again, only 6 teams can make playoffs. So, with that in mind, we've got 3 left, and we'll talk about the Tooth Fairies, which Enchmax, Zach PZ. Zach PZ was a coach and player of Flock last year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was.
And he
was a
lost
retained
out.
player.
0-6. And love the guy. I don't think he was hungover enough. I don't know what happened. I think if he shows up and goes like closer to even, we might have made playoffs. So go ahead.
Yeah, he passed the server to me before the start of the season and lost his power. I think that's what happened. He transferred ownership of Mushi League to me at the start of season 20 and then lost out, including a loss to me. Which our set that season, which we rigged, started with a ladder game. So if you go to game 1,
Oh yeah, I remember this shit.
and you just skip to the last turn, you will see at the end that there was a rating change
Well,
in
it
a
says
Mushi
right at the
League game.
top, rated battle.
Yeah.
At the start of the replay.
And he actually
And I
takes
got
the
a
game.
terrible matchup too. I got the worst possible matchup.
You brought a Next Hawk team, is what you did.
I did. I did. I was playing Next Hawk teams on ladder, even worse.
All right.
I've run into
Probably
you.
after Zach is
with
questionable
my
at
own
best,
versions of
but-
those.
48 good player, Depression Cherry good player, Forte good player. This looks like vaguely top heavy? Question mark. I don't know
I
many
know
of these other
Bugin-
players
no.
like at all.
Bugin Matender.
I know Mantis.
I think
I don't know
Matender.
Matender. I feel like everyone
I've
else
never
knows
played.
Matender, and only I don't.
They're new.
So Matender is an old,
But they're
been around for a
2.5.
while. Used to top ladder back in like 2022, 2023 before I was around.
Okay.
And his current ladder stats are really good, like 72, 73 GXE on main. Yeah, I think he was big time on my list. I was trying to get him with my remaining budget in like the last 2-3 rounds, and he did not fall to me, unfortunately. I do think the bottom here is a little weak. JBH Max, that's NCH Max's brother, also someone from the melee scene,
Okay.
has had up and down seasons. I think the big issue here is going to be just prep investment. The Fairies are always like the ultimate chillers. Bring what you want, have fun, enjoy Mushi League.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, NCH Max has a lot of real life stuff going on all the time. Zach PZ is going to be mainly a hey, I need someone to submit a lineup type of coach, more so than a prep guy.
Yeah.
His prep
That's what I
is
saw.
type RFN in your team chat and see what happens.
Yeah.
I think the Fairies have done it again. They've assembled a roster that looks really fun to be on and will be like bottom 2 in the league.
Hard to disagree.
It's
The
like
vibes are great though.
it's every man for himself on the Fairies. No one is like gonna be whipping your ass teaching how to play Pokemon, and yeah, like it's just gonna be sink or swim.
I'm
okay.
a 2-time fairy, and if I had not started as a 2-time fairy, Jumpy might have a higher opinion of my play.
That's good to know.
I do think that you suffer from anchoring bias because that very first set I watched you play on the Fairies, you played so fucking bad. But that was a long time ago.
First
Yeah,
impressions are hard
it's-
to shake though.
It was valid. It was a very valid first impression. I try to block that time out.
All right, Wiseman's Council.
The Wise Man's Council, led
So I
by
think
Buzz
Buzz has
himself.
points here.
Would you
Do we wanna
like
go-
to talk
Buzz go
about like
first?
your thought process drafting, how well this went for you, what your hopes are, how confident you are, or do you want us to take the lead? and
Yeah,
you to
I could
respond?
just give my rough thoughts to start. Which I got Zinc in the retain round. I'm a big fan of Zinc, SPL gamer.
Through and through.
I had heard the rumors that Zinc would not be willing to prep depending on which team they got selected to. So I made sure to draft a bunch of Zinc's friends who I think are good value picks.
That's actually such a good strategy.
And yeah, like I put a really high emphasis on character over talent. That's something that Oof and I can always emphasize. We're not going to be the people, talking crap in live matches when our own teammates are playing and whatnot. Emphasize constructive criticism and whatnot. I think we have a lot of really good builders in here where people are willing to help, like Rezo, Raxius. Dancing is the unsung hero of the council over the last 2 seasons. We are going to be missing Oof Maxima a bunch. All my love to that guy. He's been a huge part of the kind of soul and spirit of this team. I do think that Leo and I in the 3 and 4 slot, that might be a little rough. I think I might be able to hold my own against some of these guys. I'm probably going to third slot a lot, but it's there's a lot of really, really good players in Mushi this season. I'm really hyped for it.
Word. Jumpy, I'm gonna ask you to jump in and just give it to us straight, man. How are they gonna do?
Well, before I opine on anything else, I just have to say, like, ab reaction dancing along, everyone who's worked with him has like such a high impression of him. They all love him. I know Callus loves him. He like saw his work in like the Callus like draft team tournament and was just like, this guy is secretly the GOAT, and Buzz says the same thing. My personal impression of dancing along is that when Mikey, King of Iron Frisk, was trying to schedule with him, dancing along said, "Sorry, but I work 3 jobs and have a girlfriend, so I'm particularly busy." And so I hate the guy.
Yeah, that's kind of
he's a Italian real estate agent. He plays professional basketball in Italy.
Whoa.
But he does not have a girlfriend currently.
okay. That's good to know. That's the kind of information and intel that we need to appropriately rank this team.
He's 6'6".
How
That's all you need
unemployed
to know.
are your players?
So I actually, when I did my PRs, I put them really high, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, what was I thinking? I think Just Leo is not a 3-star. Like, I know we've star inflation. I don't think he's an old 2.5 star. I think he's probably going to get pounded down.
He had a fucking hella nice season 20. Winning
yeah,
out
but look at his
last...
wins. It's 1.5s and 2s. He's not ready for the big leagues.
Ooh. Okay.
Hey,
Fair
let him know.
Where else?
Fellow
Zinc
Italian
is,
gamer, by the way.
Zinc and Kaloum is top 2 is probably a lot of why I did that. And then just like the history of success from the Wise Men's Council.
The culture.
They got the legacy and the lore. But yeah, I don't know if I'm actually impressed by the lineup.
Okay.
It's going to be, if this team does well, it's going to be a 3rd season of the just Wise Men's Council overperforming. There's some magic in the water if they do well again, I think.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's some good culture picks here, and I mean, I feel like we haven't glazed dancing along enough yet, so I'll give my dancing along story.
please.
My first ever tournament set, I think, I don't know. I was in 2 tournaments early on in my career, and I got washed in both of them. But dancing along was my round 1 opponent in one of them, and I got washed by him. And he said, "Hey man, do you want to hop on a Discord call real quick?" And I said, "Oh man, I'm gonna get fried because I played like crap." But then he got on. And he's like, "Hey man, I've been watching your videos. I think you're doing all the right things. Like, you're doing the things that you need to do to get better. And I think eventually you're going to be a really good player. And I would love to like see you keep playing. And I'd love to play again with you someday." And I was like, man, that was so heartwarming for me.
Holy shit.
So love that guy.
Damn. Title favorite. Enlightened Endperts actually gets relegated to the rest. And Wiseman Council for the win. That was an awesome story. If vibe-wise, I'm feeling end of contenders or high-end playoff contention.
I vote playoff contention for this team.
You know, let's sleep on them a little and let them exceed expectations once more. Why don't we?
Hey, I do want to shout out Marcos, because Marcos returned this season after not playing in season 20.
Marcos.
And he came in.
Avoid a $50 Discord gift card.
Yes, Marcos, known for clicking on Discord gift cards and losing his account 3 separate times
Okay,
in the span of a year.
He's a security risk. Got it. But he wins games against low star opponents.
Yeah, so that was back then. The big thing that I liked about him is he sees some lines. Like week 1 of season 19, game 2, he had the craziest high value. I'm not saying go look at it, but he had the craziest high value Salic Crunch mixed Tyranitar to win the game from what looked just like a terrible position.
This does
where
look
he
like a
comes in
terrible
on-
position.
I remember that game. That was crazy.
Yeah, so back up like 3 turns. If you back up 3 turns,
Oh,
the
is he
Tyranitar actually-
mosh pit music?
Yes,
Mhm.
mosh.
Okay,
Mosh
my
pit music.
Bad, my bad.
The Tyranitar actually comes in on spikes, leaves, sacks something else, comes back in on the spikes to activate the Salic, and then just sweeps the game. And for a 1.5 in their first Mushi set ever, I was like, dang, I might have got someone with this. And then he goes and has a 5-1 season. We win the finals.
Okay, that's kind of
But-
dope. Salic Crunch, Fire Blast, Brick Break. Interesting set. And it does just go ahead and sweep. Wait, how does? Oh, he has Ments in the back.
So
Wait, still
he-
faster than DD Tar.
because of the +1. Yeah,
Wow.
he just
Interesting.
locked it in, like saw the line, and I don't think I would have seen that exact line at that point in time. Like I thought it was a lost game, and Marcos, shout out Marcos. I think
Shout out
he,
to Marcos, man. That was cool.
I think he's a good player.
Okay. Okay, high-end playoff contention it is for the Wise Men's Council, at least for now. We're going to do a spot check. Last team, before we do that last second spot check, is the Valley Charizards, and this is a brand new team with Luisin and Kira UBD. I don't know these gamers. Am I wrong to say that some of the coaches are like primarily non-English speaking or like international players?
Or-
Mexican players.
VC and the Jubilant Jolteons are both Mexican coached team
Cool.
with Gordito Con Bigote, Elian, and then here it's Luisin and Kira.
Okay. H over L is here. Jonold, in the second slot, I expect him to kind of own the entire universe. I
don't know.
he'll-
Second slot is, second slot's going to be Sato, I think. Like, he's technically 0.05 higher than Jonold, but I don't think that he's as ready for one slot. So I think what you're actually going to see is first slot Jonold, second slot Sato.
That's what I would do, for sure.
And then those are both reasonable, but not like world stomping. Oh, they did first slot Sato this week,
Interesting.
but we'll see if that continues.
Okay. Who are some other standouts here? Because I'm not familiar with that many of these gamers.
So, Yamoshi was on the Psychic Guardians last season, and we had him bottom slot because he was like 1.3 at the time. But he did go, I think, 6-1, 5-1.
5-1. Yeah.
So it's again a question of can he do that in a higher slot? He's a really nice guy. I loved working with him. He has a serious language barrier, but this is the right team for him. Similar situation with Loneling.
True.
When I worked with that guy in the past, I was like, you're good. Your teams are just, they're fucking terrible. And I can't help you prep because like Yamoshi kind of speaks English. Loneling like does not.
Yeah.
So I would love to see how he performs on this team as well. That might be an upside. Dastardly Dwarf had a great season last season.
Yeah,
And then
they really
Freezing
did.
Pop and Ajinu are like unknown bottom slots. But compared to some known people that I'm like pretty sure are gonna speedrun 1.0, that can be a good thing.
Sure. Okay. Buzz, what can you tell
What do
me
other
about
people
this team?
think?
I think this was an okay draft. I think taking Jonold Jonold ended up on the Charizards before draft even happened. The Beetles, Charizards, and Jolteon got to do a sort of balancing retain draft because they had no retains
Right.
to pick from.
Right.
And so that is how they got Jonold. I think that was probably the best retain they possibly could have picked.
Yeah, at that star rating, that's value for sure.
It's kind of more of what Jumpy said regarding Dwarf. Like Dwarf had a great season. I think Dwarf has a history of having some, pretty solid results in tours across across ADV.
Season 17 win over Jonold. Okay, Dastardly Dwarf. I mean, I know that was like fucking a while ago, but still.
But Dwarf can, his motivation kind of comes and goes, and he can be kind of hard on himself sometimes. When he's feeling good about his game and he's got good support, I think he can really show up and play. But, sometimes I feel like he needs to stop getting in his own way about playing well.
I'm not sure if you're reading chat. He like literally just said, I honestly think my last season was a fluke, kind of nervous. So I think you kind of hit the nail on the head.
So, okay, well, that's proven my point. Needs to have faith in his ability. I think he has the chops to do just fine in that 6 slot there, 6 slot, 7 slot, depending on what they do with Lonely or Yamoshi.
Right.
You earned those wins last time. Like maybe a couple of them broke your way with some luck or whatnot. But yeah, you gotta have confidence in yourself and play your game.
The
Right on.
question mark on this team, serious question mark, is the HL through Leeson latitude. Like HL has, I think, been doing better lately, and maybe I'm a little unfair, but I remember a time where he was like below average Mushi leaguer. Like, to see him in 3rd slot, I don't know how well he's going to perform. But that's a pretty solid season 20 result record, so that could go all right.
Yeah, 5-1 is hella solid. Looks like a lot
and like
of
looking
kind
at
of
the names that they beat
results the past several seasons before that, but
Makes me feel better about me 3rd slotting because I was their only loss last season.
also welcome to the voice call, Jof. Jof, how are you?
Yo, guys. I just wanted to hop on and shout out Dastardly Dwarf. He was so dope for us last season. And honestly, the only reason he's not still a Doom is just because of how.
Yo, your mic is like hella muddied. It's hard to. It's...
Yeah, we are hearing Joe through like an underwater mic.
Yeah, there's something's not right. We're getting most of what you're saying. You're shouting out Dastardly Dwarf, saying that he's the GOAT. That's the gist of it, right?
That's what I heard.
We're not hearing
the Houndooms.
else.
That the Houndooms do not win last season without Dwarf. That's what I heard.
That's
I mean, I've only lost to one player in Mushi, and it was Dwarf twice. So
that's
he's
okay.
My freaking boogeyman.
That's a crazy stat.
That is a 6 stat. Only player to take a single set off of the season 20 rookie of the year, and he did it 2 separate times.
Not a single set. Yeah.
Okay, so where are they going, guys?
I think that's about right. Bottom of playoff contention.
I think that they're probably top of the rest for me personally, but bottom of playoff contention is valid.
I think so. Thinking of it like this. Again, we know 6 teams make it to the playoffs. If we put them at top of rest, then that means we only have 7 total teams. So we're saying, wait, no. I'm not doing math. We have count. 8. I can't count. So we're saying there's really only 8 teams that could plausibly make it to the playoffs, and these 4 have no shot. To me, it feels more if we think this is the best of the rest.
Valley's got a shot. Why not?
I think literally any of these teams could make playoffs.
Right.
It's Mushi League. Sometimes even the Tooth Fairies make playoffs.
I made playoffs with Tooth Fairies my 2nd season.
There you go.
It was crazy, but it happened.
This is not even accounting for like what your schedule looks like.
Right.
That could definitely play into it as well.
Joe, if your mic did in fact explode, but had to shout, Dwarf will be missed on Dooms. Understood. Thank you for joining in the shout out. We appreciate that. Just looking at this, spot checking it, now that everything is in place, I think I'm just gonna say for the record, I think we're sleeping a little bit on my team, a little bit, but I can't point out a specific team where I'm like, oh no, we're surely better than them. Is there anything like, I guess one by one, like Jumpy, to you, like what's like the biggest, like the grossest error that we're making when you look at this? If you made one change, what would it be?
I'd bump Flock up.
You bump Flock up.
I'd put Flock right behind or even in front of Slackers.
Oh, so Flock is just in the contenders for you.
I go back to Flock. Go back to Flock.
Yeah, let's go back to Flock.
Because I don't know about that. Like CO, even as a third slot, like you just don't know what you're gonna get with him. Sometimes he'll have a great season. Sometimes he'll freaking go 0-6 and be activity risk every week.
Oh, he'll always be activity risk every week, but
like the mid slots, I don't think the mid slots on the Flock here are really that impressive. Like Lori and Corvinus, like Corv is nice. Beehole in the fourth slot, I don't think is like super impressive. I think he's super great dude. Been around forever. Has the teams that he likes to play, like you said, Jumpy.
This is the key right here. What you don't recognize is that these two players are going to be going 5-1.
that's kind of what I'm basing this off.
Have
of.
you considered that much, Buzzed?
I mean, I think when you're putting that much of the weight of a team's success on two rookies that aren't even coming in at 1.5, they're coming in at 2.0s. That's a lot of pressure on folks that are, potentially in their first like structured team tour. To say that they're above the slackers, who have, kind of up and down the board, like known quantities with some really heavy hitters, top slots, like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see them that high personally.
Yeah, I think I would favor the Slackers, like more veteran players a little bit more, just top to bottom. And I think as well, like the biggest concern for me as somebody who's scheduling and currently playing against the Flock is that I think more than just Cyber Odin is an activity risk.
I'm also curious, like, if Z Panther isn't very active and coaching and prepping, I don't know if, like, I am super... I don't think H-Clad is going to be, like, prepping a bunch of people that he doesn't know. Like, if you're friends with him, like, he'll, like, help you out, like, all the time. But I don't think that he's, like, going to be, like, that engaged.
H-Clad...
Here, let me just give you a thought experiment.
Yeah.
Go to Cactu's page.
Yeah.
And tell me the last time his team didn't make playoffs.
I think he's got a playoff streak where just as long as anybody else.
He has never not made playoffs. That was a trick.
I mean,
question.
okay, but 3 of those teams are like peak Psychic Guardian. Like, I can go and pick anybody off of the, like, 1999 Yankees and be like, look at the last time this guy didn't make the playoffs. Well, yeah, he's on the fucking 1999 Yankees. That doesn't count.
All right. Well, okay. I'm saying that I just love Cactus, so I'm gonna rate any team with him.
And I agree.
There's a lot to love about Cactu. Do we like them more than Wise Council? Can we put them at top of playoff contention? Can we give them a nod?
Oh, you don't actually have to change anything. This is just like
right.
This is the segment where Stephen A. Smith says some dumb shit to get the views.
True.
I will say, Council again. Leo and I both are coming off of like crazy seasons, and so I do buy into.
Yeah, Leo did kind of go off last year. I didn't know that.
And then I think I only lost 1 set last season as well. I'm coming off of 2 seasons back to back where I have just climbed, and it's one of those things where are you going to keep going up, or are you going to, I've had some pretty good results outside of Mushi lately, but you start to climb and you start hitting your budget pretty hard, and I will say that the Council is the only team that used 100% of their draft budget in the draft.
So there you go.
You guys are min-maxers. I'm gonna executively decide to put Flock up here.
brutal.
And you guys can blame me. You guys can point at me.
That's
and
hating, bro.
this is my former team. I got to give them a little nod.
Well, I feel like I've got beef with so many flockers, and I respect a lot of the wise men that I just can't agree with this decision.
Okay. Well, you guys can you can post all your disagreements in the comment section or somewhere in Mushi League so that people know that this doesn't represent you.
What's your hot take, Buzzed? We spent enough time on my hot take. I
True.
think.
What's my hot take? Oh man, I mean honestly, I think the Beetle Battalion is much better than this. I think Beetle Battalion, like if I were being totally honest where I'd place myself, I'd put Council up with Slackers. I'd put Beetle Battalion above Slackers. In between the two, I think Battalion's roster construction, the length of it, is just super good, and I'm a big proponent of Mushi League is one in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get people on the same page, just grinding out slots like 3 through 7, 3 through 8, you will find success in the league. You will make playoffs, and you have a chance of beating anybody.
I'm thinking of moving simply above Huntail X Hunters. I'm hearing people say, "Oh, maybe we should go all the way up here." That's a lot, and I want to believe in my team to that extent. I'm just gonna put us right here. We're just in the middle of the fucking pack, but I'm gonna give myself a little ode. We haven't really acknowledged this. Zets has done pretty well in Mushi. Zets has gone 4-1 both seasons. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about Zets getting top 8 in Mugulus. Jumpy didn't mention that. Jumpy's not acknowledging shit.
I said
I
you were
think
going to win.
all I did was talk
your week
shit.
1 set, didn't I? Oh wait, no, you're
No,
not
you
in
said I was
week
going to
one.
lose
No,
the
you are.
Gold Mason.
Shit, you're right. No, I got mixed up with Artie, who I said was going to win.
I don't think you've been paying attention. I think you think that I'm still a shitter that doesn't really know anything.
I'm going to be honest. Last time I checked in on you, you were going road to 1700 or whatever, and not making it. So.
That's true. I will say today I got to 1667 or some shit, 1669, something like that. So
If I had a nickel for every time,
That's what's your GXE these days?
I have like an issue. So I have like 4 or 5 separate accounts, and it's like impossible to know because I'll get close to 1700 and then I'll get like afraid of like losing. So then I like play on a different account that's lower and try to get them all up at the same time. It's a problem, but I don't know what my GXE is.
I think you're kneecapping yourself, Zets. I think I've learned a lot getting washed in the 1700s about myself, not necessarily about how to play the game, but
Life lessons.
No, I agree. I should just stick to one account. That would help.
I know people alt a bunch. I'm just one of those insane people. I basically ladder on just one account like 99% of the time. Like 3,000 games on just Buzz 27 on Showdown. Like anyone who ladders
that's
is
surprising.
probably.
I thought you would have more than that.
I've only been around for about 2 years, so.
Still, I mean, this game's
That's a
so
lot of
fucking
games,
addicting.
I think a part of it too was that like when I was literally only playing Classico on ladder, I was pissed that like I felt like people were recognizing me and they knew my team from like turn 1, and so a part of it was that. But no, I've got to work through some shit. But I'm gonna get to 1700, and then I'm gonna get to 1800 someday, and then what, Jumpy? It's not.
Well,
it's
and
not.
then
gonna be
I'll
that
stop
easy.
shit talking you on your own YouTube videos.
All right, great. I look forward to it.
I won't. I will not do that, Zets.
Thank you, Tetra.
Will not stop shit talking.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I meant.
Good. Okay. One title favorite in the Enlightened Endperts. Jove, by the way, recently said that Jove's top 2 teams are MF Houndooms and Beetle Battalion. After that, it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
Interesting perspective.
See how he doesn't ask the shitter and call what his hot takes are?
What's your hot take, Tetra?
Well, I guess I don't really have any because this is about what I would say. I think my hottest take is I still kind of favor the Houndooms over the Spheals, but that's not that crazy a take, I don't think.
It's close.
Yeah. One
We can play it
slot
up for the
difference.
audience though. Like, what the fuck? You're saying Xtina's dog shit at the game?
True.
my other hot take, I think Huntail X Hunters is the highest variance team in the league. I think
that's
that
a bold take.
I think,
I
that's
think that
lukewarm
they
at
have
best.
the potential to be a really, really top team, and I think that they could find themselves bottom 2 if things go bad.
I agree completely.
Well, there you have it, folks. Stick with us. We'll be covering some of Mushi on the channel. Xtina is also going to be doing a new series where she and 2 guests, including Tetra and myself for the first week at least, are going to watch like basically the 5 like coolest, chillest, sickest replays from each week to kind of do a little bit of a showcase, a little bit of a weekly wrap up. And excited for season 21. Should be a good time. Should be fun. It'll be fun to come back and look at these predictions once the season pans out to see how close or far away we were from the actual truth. But good
We're
luck and have
always
fun,
wildly
everybody.
fucking off. That's part of the fun.
Yeah. I'm wondering
maybe
how
the
many of the
Endperts-
playoff teams we will have gotten correctly, because we're basically saying playoff teams are going to be Endperts, Spheals, Houndooms, Slackers, Flock, Council, and that's it. We're expecting Beetle Battalion to be the best team to not make the playoffs, and that would make sense because I have not made playoffs yet, despite going 4-1 both seasons. I haven't seen a playoff set. I'm hoping to change that this year. Mom Some Truck, yes, I am saying Xtina is dog shit at the game. Battle of the week, me Xtina, so I can
Damn!
go 0-2 in Battle of the Week and like be
I was gonna
banished
say you're
forever.
gonna get completely washed.
Yeah, I'm gonna get fucked up. We've played before. We played in tournament like a year and a half ago, and I was like, not good. I was not good, and she kind of owned me a little bit. But
That's true.
that is.
she
Don't
beat-
say that's true. You haven't seen. Yeah, you say that like you've seen this set. Come on.
Well, she beat Z Panther with COVID and missing an arm and starved and all the nasty things that power scalers say.
Whoa.
Xtina was the only person to ever captain in their first Mushi League season as a 1.5 star until Black Ace came along. So I want to see a grudge match between those two.
Thanks for having me, Zets. It was fun.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you to all 3 of you guys for jumping on. Good times. I'll post the image in the Mushi channel. We'll see what people think, and fun to do this. We'll be commentating games and stuff. I'll have you guys on again in the future, but that's going to do it for tonight. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Cheers.
Yeah.